This week's episode of the Good Dude, Good Dad podcast is brought to you by BioPro. Use the link down below plus code GDGD upon checkout, along with Hidden House Coffee. Go to hiddenhousecoffee.com and use code GDGD on your checkout to receive a discount. Now, enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Good Dude, Good Dad podcast. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ben.
And we're in the new space.
We're in.
You guys are going to probably see some changes over the next few weeks as far as like maybe positioning or like some stuff in the background. But for the most part, we got it. I think we got it pretty dialed.
Yeah, we're playing around with a lot of stuff. We literally just wanted to record today, if we're being honest, like in the new space before we start bringing guests back in so we can work some kinks out. But no, we're pumped. Like we have it's a full space.
It's a full space. We got like our conference table, a little coffee set up thanks to Hidden House Coffee. And I mean, dude, I'm hyped. It's something that we'd been talking about for a while.
A long time. We went from like I don't know what the measurements in that room are, but like
a closet.
Yeah, it's like an office, but smaller than a traditional office. Like total space into this front room's got to be at least like 600 square feet.
Yeah.
At least. Well, yeah, the one wall's 20. And I think that wall's 20, I think.
And like we're able to decorate it the way that we want. Putting up signs, putting up some gifts that we've received from podcasts.
Still got a lot of work to do, but it's given us a pretty cool platform. George, who's been on our podcast several times, helped us with this work. He snagged us a really cool a conference table. Joseph, who's been on, he's doing a painting for us, like as a Good Dude, Good Dad backdrop, which I feel like should live maybe
like right
here-ish now that
cool.
I'm looking at like the camera angle.
Yeah.
And then when we rent out the podcast space, which we're thinking about doing. So if you're out there and you need a space, we're not quite there yet, but we wanna get there. But we're gonna do it on a canvas so we could remove it, obviously. So if you have your own podcast and your own brand, you know, it doesn't say Good Dude, Good Dad in the background.
Yeah.
But no, super pumped. I think we're gonna have a lot of really cool conversations in this space. We're going to do a lot of cool things in the space. You know, we want to start doing, I don't know what we're going to call it yet. We haven't really fleshed that out. We've talked about it for a long time. We have a lot of ideas. Jordan and I both have like separate ideas we want to do, but we got to figure out a way to blend them and merge them together. And for lack of better terms, we want to start a Good Dude, Good Dad training. You know, more of a
almost like a mastermind-ish.
Yeah, not that we have it all figured out on what being a good dude and a good dad is, but I think the one thing Jordan and I wholeheartedly can say is we both strive every single day to be a good dude and a good dad, and obviously we fall short a lot of the time. We make some big mistakes, we make little mistakes, we crush it at certain things, you know, and we can say that because dude, I'm proud of that, man. I think being a father is like the best gift I have ever been given.
Yeah.
And it's just different if you're not a parent, like you can't understand it. Like being a husband to my wife is one of my greatest joys, but being a father to my children is just such a different level, right? Yeah. And we want to be able to try to bring those principles that Jordan and I each have learned on our own through our life growing up, through our parents, through relationships, through our faith, apply that to guys out there trying to just pour into themselves, right? And that's all it's about. And we want to take teachings and principles that we've learned along the way, you know, and from our guest, and we want to bring special guests in. And we really just want, I know it sounds cheesy, but we really just want this room and this space to become a life-changing like catalyst for making better men.
I mean, it already is. And this platform already is. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think if anyone's going to a mastermind or a men's event, or you're listening to some guy and you think that by just listening to them or going to one of their things, like that they are perfect and they have it all figured out, and if you just go, everything's going to be fixed instantly. Yeah. I think that's a dangerous spot to be in. But I think there's, I know there's a lot of value that we can add to to this space and to to men. And honestly, dude, I'm so excited for that to start happening. Like I know, like you said, we've been talking about this like quote unquote mastermind idea for a while, and you have some stuff built out. I have some stuff built out, and it's gonna be cool. Not only that, like the relationships that we've made from this podcast that we can then add to what we're gonna be doing is gonna be something that I don't really think anybody out there is doing currently. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's just different. I think the coolest thing though about all of it is just like we're all trying to figure it out, right? I will never, and I'm not going to speak for Jordan, but he'll agree with me. But like, we're never going to sit here on this platform or in an interview with a guest, or even when the cameras and mics aren't recording, like, and just be like, yeah, man, like, I got this. I got it figured out. Like, I might have certain parts figured out,
right?
But not fully, right? Things change. Things, life circumstances change. Kids change. Spouses change. You change. Like, there's just so many external factors where it's like, we've said it so many times on this podcast, but I feel like almost every single episode I gain something that I thought I already had, or I didn't think I had. I didn't know I needed to gain, right? And so going in with like that mindset and mentality of like, oh crap, there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to hear. There's so much more to receive is such a powerful thing. And dude, I had somebody, I forget, I don't know if it was at our church or where it was at. It was more recent, within the last like month and a half while you were in school.
Yeah.
And they, forget how it came up, but it was basically like they were talking about listening to our podcast and how like awesome it's been for them.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, every time someone tells us that, I'm still surprised.
Right.
Like I'm just like, oh, really?
Right.
Like sometimes we ramble, sometimes we don't, sometimes we have great points, sometimes we don't. But I think, what has been awesome is they just basically were saying like how real it is.
Yeah.
And how real dudes sharing their real experiences in a real world situation helps them be able to apply their own real world things to it,
Heck yeah.
And I was like sitting there and I was like, it's that right there is like what it's about, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of burnt out with a lot of stuff going on lately. And the podcast has become this thing where it's like, I don't mean this in a douchey way, but it's too big to not do.
Oh, 100%.
It's not big enough to go all in.
Right.
And so we're like in this awkward spot, right? We're having to work around like your schedule, my schedule, guest schedule. And I'm like, dude, I need to focus on my business and my family right now.
Right.
Outside of that, all the extra stuff, like I gotta give a value to, right? My health and like sanity through jiu-jitsu, that's a non-negotiable. Obviously family time, church, work, non-negotiable. So like the podcast, I'm like, oh, dude, like the guest bailed again.
Right.
I don't want to rock a podcast with just us two again.
Right.
You get all these things and all these thoughts in your head, and then you get a really cool text message or DM in this case. And if you listen to this, my man, like your thoughts that you shared with us, honestly, like probably did more for me in that moment than maybe it did for you, or maybe it's a both. It's a 50-50, but this guy that Jordan and I just met, basically listened to some of our podcasts, and we met him at a birthday party, and his response to it was just so cool.
Yeah.
And again, it was enough to be like, yo, that's why you guys are doing what you're doing. Like it was enough to be like, Ben, shut up, suck it up. It's a season. As long as it's not affecting obviously your life in like a real way, like your marriage or your children or your ability to provide, then suck it up, you know? And like I read it out loud to Devin, and she was like, that is so freaking cool.
Dude.
Like the stories that are being shared here with us and on our platform has been like life-changing, right?
Yeah.
For some people, genuinely life-changing. And then it made me be like, dude, quit crying about being like tired and burnt out. Like, suck it up. You wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And you're creating something of value that people are actually gaining something from. Like, how much more real can that get? Like, and we're doing it because we want to.
Yeah.
We're doing it because there's value in it. Like, obviously we want this thing to become something bigger than even what it is.
Right.
And it would be super dope, I'm not going to lie, to make money from the podcast if we could someday.
Yeah.
But just that moment of like it encouraging another guy who we just met
Yeah.
enough to potentially like give him a boost and a push to be able to like want to pour into himself and his faith and his family. That was just like enough for me to be like, yep.
Bro, yeah. He ended up DMing. I didn't see it because it was under my request.
Yeah.
He DM'd me personally too. And I was like, I read it. And then I showed Caitlin the one that, and then the one for us. And yeah, it's, dude, this like, I don't even care if I get church. This is our ministry. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
This is it. And dude, it's just like, does it get, I feel the same way sometimes where I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what the heck to post. Like our social media, I'm picking back up again. But when I was in school, like I did a horrible job. Like we literally hit like 10,000 followers. And with school, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to keep up and do both. And I just didn't, I like sucked. And then as soon as I got out, I was like, oh, I'm gonna crush it immediately, get right back on it. And I haven't. And I haven't felt like, to be honest, I didn't feel inspired. I didn't know what to write. Like I was like, dude, like what the heck?
Yeah.
And like, we missed a podcast last week, which is not a big deal, but I'm like, yeah, it's, and then you get those messages and you're like, bro, yes. It's like life-giving, it just gets me excited again. This is one of the things I have to remember, like this podcast is actually one of the things that I'm enjoying most in life right now. And there's even with that being said, there are moments just like you were saying where it's like, and like, honestly, I felt bad lately because I've had to put so much on you for guests and setting up schedules and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, bro, he's got so much to do. But I don't know. I'm grateful for you and have,
Likewise.
And us doing this. I'm excited we're bringing on some big guests. Like,
we have a pretty sick upcoming lineup.
Yeah. I mean, like we just have so many good guests. Like we have Joshua Broom coming in January. Like that'll be super sick.
I know if you listen to this, dude, we're excited. We're excited for you to see. He's going to speak at our men's breakfast.
Yeah, actually, this is a great time to talk about it a little bit. Like we are doing, Ben runs our men's ministry at our church at Mesa Church, and Good Dude, Good Dad is a big part of that as well. So if you guys are excited and you want to come hear some of our guests, sometimes we're able to set up where our guests that are on the podcast then go and guest speak at those events. So if you want to ever come see one of those guest lists, I need to set it up either on our website or on Instagram or something like that where it shows.
Like a speaker engagement thing?
Yeah, it just kind of shows our events that are kind of coming up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that'd be helpful because, man, Tim Arrigo came.
Yeah.
And just absolutely blew everyone out of the water. You spoke.
Jalen,
the Tarantula Turner coming up. He's got a fight in December
6th.
December 6th? Yeah.
Whatever that Saturday is.
I think it's the 6th.
Yeah.
Which is going to be sick. But these men, they come and they add all this value on the podcast, and then you get to see them in real life doing their thing.
Yeah.
And, as far as us not doing Good Dude, Good Dad events right now, that's about as close to a Good Dude, Good Dad event that you'll get. So,
yeah. I mean, our last one was pretty sick. And again, it's the platform, it's the space, it's what we both like kind of in this season feel called to do and led to do. And what Jordan said is like this being our ministry. If you're not a church person, like that's great. We would love to still have you on and talk about it. Like us doing this and claiming that it's our ministry, even though it's not a Christian podcast, is more so for the fact of we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're willing to have those conversations, whether you agree or disagree with us. Like that's totally okay.
Yeah.
Like we can some of the guys that I want to have on our podcast, I don't view things like they do at all.
Yeah.
And they're still my friend.
That's awesome.
They still have things that like we share common interests in.
Yeah.
And what we've said on the podcast before, but like the world's just forgotten that, hey, you can have opposing views.
Yeah.
But still be cool.
Yeah.
And you can still be a friend or a cousin or a brother or whatever and not believe the same things. Like
right.
A true believer in Jesus is somebody that would never even make you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
In the sense of judgmental wise. Like my whole plan and like why this is a ministry is like, yo, like we have believers, non-believers, atheists. I don't know what the other, like Satanists, like we would have all that stuff on, and it being our ministry is more so like, yo, we are who we say we are, or we are who we want to strive to be.
Yeah.
And that's just like what keeps us driving. Like it doesn't matter if we don't have the same beliefs. And I would prefer some of that.
Yeah.
Because it challenges you and it makes you think, and it's like, oh wait, I never really thought of that,
Yeah.
But life's just crazy.
Yeah. Dude, well, I think, I know we're just doing like a little brief conversation today, but I think a massive takeaway from something you said earlier, we were like, hey, I really need to focus on my business and then my health, is that there's always going to be these times that pop up in your life where, it feels like everything's going smooth and then everything's chaotic and then you're having to prioritize, and, you're doing things that you loved doing have become sometimes a chore at times.
Yeah.
Like we love doing this, and every time we leave, we're like, yeah, it was so awesome.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that sometimes it doesn't become a chore, and it doesn't mean that just because it becomes a chore, you just go, well, that's it, and just toss it out the window.
Yeah.
Like these ebbs and seasons of life are going to come along where everything's going awesome and you're pumped and you're stoked and everything's rolling along super easy, and then there's these seasons come along where it's like even the things that you enjoy seem sometimes difficult.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not a reason to give up. That's a reason to press in. Sometimes it's a reason to reevaluate, but for the most part, like if you're on a trajectory that is the right, like you're saying, dude, you're like, I got those message and I know this is the right thing. Like I got that message, and I had, I've had people bring up the podcast in just casual conversations, like people that I talk to regularly. Like they're like, oh yeah, I was listening to this and I thought, and it's like, it's so cool that it's sparking those conversations.
Yeah.
And, we're gonna be here. We're gonna keep doing this. We're excited. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
We need support. We've said it before.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get better at asking more and more for that. And it's just like, it sounds, I don't know, I just always feel lame saying, hey, like, please support us. Like, please go like it and share it and subscribe to it. And, but
share it with someone.
Yeah, that stuff does matter. And if it's an episode you don't like, then don't share it. But if there's value in what we're saying, and if it does trigger you in some way, maybe you should share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to share with you guys some guests that we have coming up. We're excited to continuing working on our space. We'll keep you updated. If you like, share, subscribe, that's a huge way to help. If you would like to sponsor the podcast, you can always reach out to us too. We would love that. That'd be awesome. And as always, be a good dude. Be a good dad.